Hello everyone, this is video 2 of 4 on how to get started playing Red Alert for the first time. This video will go over the different factions. So, when you're in a lobby about to start a game, you can have the ability to choose different factions. And factions are essentially different forces. So England prioritizes counterintelligence, so it has a special unit, a British spy, which is half the cost of a normal spy, a special unit, and a mobile gap generator. France's power is deception. It can build fake structures and a phase transport. Germany's power is chronoshift technology. Its special ability is advanced chronoshift, and its special unit is chronotank. Russia's special ability is Tesla weapons. It has a special unit, Tesla tank, and it has another special unit, a shock trooper. And Ukraine's special ability is demolitions, where it has the parabombs and demolition truck. The only difference between British spies and normal spies are that British spies cost half as much. As you can see, this costs only 250 and it's a British spy, and this costs 500. This is great if you want to spam spies and go into a base. And the great thing about spies is they can infiltrate essentially anything. One of the most overpowered things they can infiltrate, though, are ore refineries. If they infiltrate an ore refinery, they will literally steal half of the opponent's credits. If they infiltrate an advanced power plant, they will cause a power outage for 1 full minute. And the list goes on and on and on. They are very overpowered. And on top of that, they can transform themselves into any unit. So if I select them, and then I right-click this guy, they are going to transform themselves into what looks to be rifle infantry, but it says right here it's a spy. British also has a special unit called the mobile gap generator. And a mobile gap generator is just a gap generator on wheels. And a gap generator, the defense, blocks the opponent from seeing anything in this radius. So if the opponent has a GPS satellite, it can't see anything inside this. It is blocked. And what a mobile gap generator does is that it's the same thing. It can just go with the army. And what you'll see is you'll have an army inside this radius and maybe another one going here. Maybe the enemy thinks this is the army, but it's really this one. France has the ability to build fake structures. They are listed under defense. I can build fake power plants. I can build fake construction yards. I can even build fake missile silos. Now note, you can only build one of these. This is really important because maybe you'll have your real missile silo over here, and your enemy thinks this is your real missile silo, but no, it's this one. The other thing that France has is phase transport. And phase transport is what it says, light armored infantry transport, which can cloak. So, if I build a bunch of these, I can build a barracks and have a bunch of infantry go into it, like this. And it will just enter different units. And the great thing is, as they move, they're essentially invisible. Germany is a bit different. It specializes in chrono technology. So if I build a war factory, you can see I can build chrono tanks. So I can tell the chrono tanks to teleport into a radius like this. It's not that far though, and that's where the chronosphere comes in. A chronosphere allows vehicles to teleport themselves across the map for 20 seconds. Now, allies have chronoshift, but Germany has a special chronoshift that allows more units to be teleported. So if I say they're going to teleport over maybe here, and they can maybe attack an enemy base, but you can see the progress bar is going down, and then they're going to teleport back. Now, holy smokes, that timing is actually kind of good. And that's Germany. Russia's special units are shock troopers and Tesla tanks. So, the Soviets have the option to build a Tesla coil for defense. Shock troopers are essentially mini Tesla coils, and Tesla tanks are a bit bigger, but not as powerful as Tesla coils. Finally, Ukraine excels at basically anything
Build
explosive.
construction complete.
For starters, it has a demo truck. And a
Build
demo
unit
truck
ready.
is literally a portable
Building.
atomic bomb.
Unit ready.
These things are very, very powerful. However, they have light armor, which means if they accidentally explode in your base is pretty much gone. Ukraine also has a special ability
Construction
where if you build an
complete.
airfield,
Spy plane
you can
ready.
have parabombs.
Select target.
And power bombs are where a plane flies in and just essentially drops bombs. Here's the plane. They're not particularly explosive, not as big as demolition
Unit
trucks,
lost.
which are affecting trees all the way over here. But parabombs are a very
Select
versatile
target.
way to transport destruction, if you will. Now, all this time, I've been using a cheat that allowed me to build anything for practical purposes. I'm right now an ally, which means I would not have access to airfields or subpins or this type of barracks. So from now on, I'm going to limit my ability to build anything. One of the Allies' special abilities is the
Construction
Allied
complete.
Tech Center. And the Allied
Construction
Tech Center
options.
comes with a GPS satellite.
Satellite construction complete.
I will be able to see anything on the map thanks to the Allied Tech Center and the GPS satellite. And I can even see if there's an enemy here, I could see where the enemy might be. There's some indicators of its location. The Allies also have
Construction complete.
access to the chrono shift.
Chronosphere.
And we already
Chronosphere
talked
ready.
about this just a bit, but it's different because I'm
Select
France.
target.
I'm only going to be able to chrono shift a small amount of troops. Every single faction has a
Construction
missile silo.
complete.
So it doesn't
Payload.
matter
Payload
if you're
ready.
Allies or Soviet, you're always going to have the ability to build a missile silo, but you can only build one. Allies have Tanya,
Unit ready.
which is a very, very powerful anti-infantry unit. They also have spies and medics. For vehicles, Allies have radar jammers, phase transports, artilleries, and medium tanks. Now this varies because I'm France. This might be different if you're playing as Britain, but that's it. The Allies also have Black Hawk and Longbow,
Build
and
construction
for
complete.
naval units, I talked about this briefly, they have gunboats, destroyers, and cruisers. Both sides have transports. Allies have different defenses than Soviets as well. Allies have
construction
pillboxes,
Build
camo
construction complete.
pillboxes,
Build
turrets,
construction complete.
AA
Build
guns,
construction complete.
and gap
Build
generators.
construction complete.
We've already went over gap generators when we talked about the mobile gap generator. AA guns are anti-aircraft. They are very powerful. Turrets are anti-vehicles, and camo pillbox and pillbox are anti-infantry. The Soviets have similar gameplay mechanics. However, instead of a helipad, they have airfields, and instead of naval yards, they have subpens. This allows for different troops to be trained for naval yards, submarines, and missile subs, and for airfields, Yaks and MiGs. Now, I need the tech center to unlock both
Build
and
construction
more
complete.
advanced options, so I'm going to get one
New
right
construction options.
there. Now, Soviet Tech Center does not have a GPS satellite. However, you will have access to very, very, very powerful vehicles. Here are some of the Soviets' powerful troops. In particular, the MiG is a very, very powerful aircraft. The Soviets also have kennels in which you can
Train
get
it
attack
ready.
dogs. Soviets also have
Train it
flamethrowers
ready.
and shock
Train.
troopers depending if you're Russia or not. And they also have grenadiers
Train it
and
ready.
thieves.
Train unit ready.
Vehicles are where the Soviets excel at. They have
Build
heavy
unit
tanks,
ready.
V2
Building.
rockets,
Unit
Tesla
ready.
tanks if you're Russia, MAD
Building.
tanks,
Unit
and Mammoth
ready.
tanks. These
Unit
are
ready.
very, very, very powerful.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Unit lost. Build unit ready.
As you can see there, the MAD tank just blew up itself.
Reporting.
It's very powerful.
Unit lost.
It just dealt a decent bit of damage to pretty much all structures that were around it. V2 rocket launchers are essentially artillery, but much more powerful. And mammoth tanks are the best tank in the game. However, they are very, very slow. Soviets, on the other hand, allow for flame
Construction
towers,
complete. New construction
Tesla
construction
coils,
complete.
and
Build
SAM
construction
sites to
complete.
be built, and only those for defense. Flame towers are anti-infantry. Tesla coils, on the other hand, are anti-vehicles and infantry, which is why they're so powerful. However, SAM sites are not so powerful. They take up 2 tiles instead of 1 for AA guns,
Silos
and they
needed.
fire missiles, which apparently does less damage than the bullets from AA guns, go figure. Finally, the Soviets have a special
Construction
ability,
complete.
Iron Curtain,
Iron curtain.
and the Iron Curtain grants invulnerability
Select target.
to any selected tanks
Iron
for
curtain.
a certain
Iron
amount of
curtain
time.
ready.
As you can see, the progress bar is almost halfway, but no matter what I do,
Waiting order.
I will not be able to damage this until it's over. Alright, that is all to it. Go watch the next video where we are going to talk about some extra features of this game.